Conor, I mean, you had to shuffle this offensive line quite a bit this season due to injuries, but you had a lot of young guys really step in and step up to the plate. What's the secret to maintaining the level of consistency?
It starts with our head football coach, and what he says every single day to us is the standard, regardless of the circumstances that we may face, and been very pleased with how guys have adapted and adjusted and upheld that standard.
Yeah, I've been able to talk to Tyler Smith, and he had said that it's no drop-off at all whatsoever. That's the standard for sure, but usually chemistry is kind of built in terms of to help that continuity. How have you been able to kind of maintain that cohesion between those guys?
That's probably one of the bigger challenges, is you do look for a cohesiveness within that group. And last week we had a young man start at left guard who was more of a tackle, and he had practiced at right guard the week before. And it's just with what the expectation is in that room, and a mindset of saying, if a man goes down, the next man is up. And that's kind of the mentality that they have really bought into.
What's been the biggest challenge for you as a teacher now at the NFL level compared to the college ranks?
Yeah, one of the challenges is these young men have had formulated technique issues and what works for them, and finding out that, hey, what works for this particular guard that he may have learned from his college coach or a previous NFL coach, that may not work for the right guard. So it's really just a philosophy of mine that you can't coach every single person the exact same way. You can't be that stubborn old coach I joke about that says, hey, it's my way or the highway. Here's what we're trying to accomplish. Okay, what is going to be the best fit for you? Maybe the best fit for you, maybe a little bit different for the next guy.
I like what you mentioned about what you guys are trying to accomplish. I went back to listen to your opening presser here, and you kind of laid out the blueprint for you of what you're looking in for an offensive lineman, and you asked the questions: how physical are they? How do they finish? The measurement of value is how close they are to the football when the play is dead. How close is this line to playing like you envisioned?
We're getting closer every single day. We're improving, and to say that we're there right now, or to say that we're arrived, would be false. And they see areas that, when we evaluate ourselves, whether it's from game film or practice film, that we can still be better. And that's one of the things. We're always going to be chasing perfection, and we know that perfection is really not attainable, but looking to ultimately achieve greatness, achieve excellence on the way. That's where we're beginning to climb. And in those climbs, I say this all the time, they're not linear. There's going to be setbacks, but how do you respond to it? And that's where I've been pleased, is guys have been responding in the right way.
Yeah, I think it's kind of crazy because when you're looking from the outside in, you look and see, okay, well, this is an offense or a run game that is run for over 100 yards in the first 5 games of the season. But when you do look at the tape, right, it's just a couple of things, and just little details as well. Finishing blocks just can open up a little bit more holes for the running backs. How do you get to that next step of being perfect, basically perfect?
It's an emphasis of consistency, and ultimately it's how we prepare, and how we prepare in meetings, and how we practice. And that's why I say we can call it our practice, or we can call it preparation. And I look at it as how we prepare is ultimately how we are going to perform. So fine-tuning those details, that's always going to be a part of it within the game of football. And I think it's that much more magnified at the offensive line position, because we recognize, hey, there are things out there that we left, and hey, we're really close. But then understanding, saying we're really close, that gets redundant. Let's go execute at a high level.